Brain rot, brain rot, brain rot. What do I do whenever I get a bunch of brain rot I need to spill somewhere? I pull up OBS, plug in my headset, hit the record button, and I start talking to myself. Anyway, today, I want to talk about one of Tevat's biggest mysteries that we have so far. The twins and their connection to Khaenri'ah. Now, pretty much all we know is the summary portion of it, you know? Like, the two twins are just like, hey, yo, let's go to Khaenri'ah, this place looks cool. They go there, hey, I like it here. Khaenri'ah gets attacked, oh shit, we gotta go. They go somewhere high up in the sky, the unknown god appears, and she's like, you shall not pass. And the twins are like, okay, well then we'll fight you. And then they're losing the fight, and all of a sudden, you get the option to pick a twin. You pick one, right? Well, the other one suddenly gets consumed by a bunch of black and red cubes. Meanwhile, the twin that you picked is sitting there like, no! Anyway, so that pretty much summarizes everything up until when we wake up on the beach. But it's not enough. We need more. We need to know more. And then, you know, we're traveling everywhere. No one wants to tell us anything about our twin until we get to Sumeru. And at the end, Nahida's like, hey, what do you want to know? And we're like, hey, what does the urban soul say about our twin? Is our twin a descender? Actually, about that, no. Your twin belongs to Tevat. And then we're all like, huh? What? No way. How is that possible? And we still don't know to this day. Now, today, I want to talk about a theory that's been rotting in my brain for about a week now about this whole situation with our brother, I guess, being native to Tevat while we aren't. And I want to kind of just throw this out there, that it may not make sense, it may make sense, maybe, who knows. I'll probably know a bit better once I start talking about it. Now first, I want to go way back to when we met the unknown god, and I want to refer to what she said to us before I get to the big part of this theory. I just want to, like, build up to it. So you remember how she said the role of humankind ends here, or something along the lines of that? Yet, I just don't... The travelers are not human, you know. So why did she say something that sort of refers to us as humans? In a way, if that makes sense? Because she just kind of, like, steps out from her little void thing and says, the rule of humankind ends here, and we just kind of look at her like,
let's get down to
what?
business.
Gotcha.
Like, we're not the humans here? We're not the, rule that's ending or whatever? Like, we are literally some sort of traveling alien people that, who one slept for like 500 years not eating food, not eating. I mean, that was a big hint as to us not being any form of human. Is being older than 500 years old, most likely, and not eating for 500 years and literally just sleeping the entire time. Our twin was exploring Tibet. So what I'm thinking here is that she was referring to something else entirely, not the twins, but to, I guess, another group of people entirely that the twins, I guess, were familiar with. That, like, whenever she said that, they knew what she was talking about. Also, in this scene, it's kind of a question as to why the Abyss twin gets trapped and encaged in a bunch of cubes. Meanwhile, we just, like, she just knocks us out and says bye-bye. But other than that, our twin, it's like she's trying to send our twin away or punish our Abyss twin. Now, the reason why I kind of bring up the Abyss twin being trapped in the cubes, specifically, is because, you know, our twin, the Abyss twin, is pretty much the prince of the Abyss. But not only that, but in one of the Archon coasts in Sumeru, where we're basically having this sort of weird dream. Our twin, the Abyss twin, is referred to as Khaenri'ah's prince rather than the Abyss twin. I mean, not the Abyss twin, the Abyss prince. And I guess that was kind of weird to me. Maybe it's because, you know, the Abyss monsters are people who used to live in Khaenri'ah, but at the same time, the twins probably have a lot more history with Khaenri'ah than what we know, because all we know is they travel a lot. They travel around different worlds. They traveled to Khaenri'ah, but we don't know the length that they stayed.
I got a new
We
letter
don't
from
know
an
what they
informant.
did there. We don't exactly know anything that happened before the destruction of Khaenri'ah and everything. We don't really know much about the twins' history and stuff like that. And, of course, being asleep for 500 years, I feel like the twin we pick could forget a lot of stuff like that. Now, I want to talk about Nahida's choice of words whenever she was talking about our twin. Now, she never really specifically said, your twin is from Teyvat. She says that our twin belongs to Teyvat, and I think the wording here can make a really big difference in this whole situation. So my question with this is, does he have to be from Teyvat to belong to Teyvat, or could there be other connections that basically tie him down to this world
before it, alone
in a way?
and unchanged.
Now, I know this may sound dumb, and you may be thinking, Nahida specifically said, you know, that descenders are people from outside of Teyvat, so obviously, if our twin's from Teyvat, he'd have to be, like, born and raised here. Or does he? But obviously, that's a question we would probably have to go back and ask Nahida herself. But let's get to the point here. So, we all know the reason why Khaenri'ah was destroyed. Because, of course, they were so technologically advanced, and they didn't necessarily have the full rule of an Archon or God. But what if I told you there was always one there? And whether he or she, depending on who you picked, was officially their Archon or not, he or she ruled over them. And that would be the Abyss Twin. Now, I know this may sound dumb at first. Maybe it was a little obvious after they were called the Prince or Princess of Khaenri'ah, but it was just laying in my head, like, what if Khaenri'ah or Khaenri'ans just saw us and I guess we're just interested in us? I mean, like, we are travelers from another world. We're not human. Maybe they were interested in studying us or whatever. But if you think about other things, it just kind of clicks together. Like, the Abyss specifically chose, you know, our twin to be their prince, even after they were put under a curse. And they hate everybody and everything. Also, the reason why our twin that we didn't pick got, I guess, sent away first and was pretty much imprisoned by cubes by the unknown god, why the unknown god told us that the rule of humankind ends there. But this also leaves a few questions. The first question may be, why would the twins run away while Khaenri'ah was being attacked? Why did they try to flee when Khaenri'ah was in danger? It could be they were trying to get help. Could they have known they were going to lose the war and tried to jump to another world to see if there was anybody that could help them get Khaenri'ah back?
Navigating the world is a whole lot
Could
easier
have
with a few
been
different
going on?
identities to choose from.
And that is probably
Need me
something
to come up
we
with
won't
some for
know until later on in the story. How does our twin, being Khaenri'ah's, I guess, quote-unquote god, tie them to Teyvat, making them belong to Teyvat? Fate? Their destiny?
I got a new letter
That
from an informant.
would possibly be
Looks like the situation
an answer
has
to
changed
that.
again.
And another question is, what does this make the twin we chose, because we had pretty much the same or equal power. Now, obviously, the nations of Tibet don't have two archons, despite them having siblings. See? Little Miss Raiden Shogun right here. She had a sister, who was the archon. However, obviously, both of them didn't rule as archon. But, of course, this case is different because these two, or at least one, is not even from Tibet to begin with. Yet the other one is, or they belong to Tibet. But why did they choose the other sibling over the one we play as? What did the other sibling do? Did they stand by their sibling's side and help try to defend Khaenri'ah? Did they go exploring around? Did they go to other worlds and travel without them? What could we have been doing while our twin was ruling Khaenri'ah? Or protecting Khaenri'ah? Or whatever they were doing. Now, of course, as we're traveling through Tibet, we are regaining our power and relearning who we are. But what was our twin? What were we meant to be? Were we meant to rule anywhere specifically? Were we just supposed to be some random outworldly travelers who are powerful? What were we meant to be? And that is a question that probably won't be answered until the end of our journey. And of course, this theory could definitely be, I guess, more of like technical, like technically, you know, like Khaenri'ah wasn't just freebie under the rule of themselves. This is more of like a Venti, the God of Freedom situation where he's still there, he exists, and you know, he's over his own nation, but he just lets them have their own free will. And he hates the fuck out of Celestia, and so do all of the other Archons. But with that being said, could Celestia be preparing to punish Venti for allowing his nation to pretty much do the same as Khaenri'ah, being on their own free will? We have lots of questions, little answers, and a lot of theories. And I hope you guys enjoyed hearing this one. I'm thinking that this is something that would more be just like technical.
The world remains
like
constant
technically,
over the centuries,
we
but
aren't
human life
human.
is like the dew at dawn,
Our twin
or a
isn't
bubble
human. Our
rising through
twin
water.
ruled Khaenri'ah,
Transitory.
watched over them and stuff like that. So technically, they had a god or whatever. Or it could be literal, like our twin was literally like Khaenri'ah's Archon god, whatever. It doesn't really have to be like a literal type of true, if you get what I'm saying. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed hearing this theory. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye!